Hey everybody, welcome back to the Lynch and Lanny Show. We're here for our final episode of the 2017 Open season. 17.5 announced on Thursday night. Thrusters were expected and thrusters we got.
Yeah, not a lot of surprises there. Even the prediction board, a bunch of people had thrusters, double unders, and that's kind of exactly what we got.
Thursday night kicked off 6 of our highly anticipated, or 3 matchups. Yep. And our first matchup was the Battle of the Cola Lucas.
Yep, Al and Alyssa going head to head for the Battle of Ivanhoe.
Or just the 12th floor, or just House and Cinzari. Al, if you don't know, Al was found, what is this? He was found in a basket outside a dumpster by a wealthy real estate developer. So a lot of good things working for him at this point.
All facts, yep. He's really come up in the world after that rough start.
Alyssa also on the same streets, actually in Hackensack. We found her in 2012. She was homeless, playing a saxophone, collecting coins. Nice term for both of them. Here they are as representing the top athletes of Max Ability, and they were the main event of Thursday night.
Being the top athletes, I think Al embraced that role, setting one of the fastest times we saw, not just on Thursday, but also just the entire weekend.
Al comes out jumping around.
Bouncing off the walls. Like you said, he was blowing pre-workout in the back.
Yeah, clearly was excited. Yep. Came out, and it was one of those workouts, almost like when I see games athletes, and I don't want to put him up there, but I'm watching him do the workout, and it just seems like he's going through it, and he doesn't really show, the fatigue and like the real struggle, and just kept on going. Really crushed the workout.
Yeah, worked at that steady pace, then all of a sudden you look up at the clock, and his judge is like, oh, he's on his last round. And you're like, what's going on?
Alyssa, as she's on the streets with the saxophone, she didn't have a jump rope. Double unders is something that she struggled with for a long time. 5 years later, she can do doubles now. Not feeling her best.
Yeah, Alyssa was a little bit beat up. Still put up a really great time, really competitive time. If she was at 100%, I think she'd be able to string some more thrusters together and really crush this workout.
I think the real reason should be mentioned is she knew what was best for the family.
Yes, correct.
There's no chance that if Alyssa takes out Al in front of everyone, months it's going to cost, the depression in the home.
Al won't be able to train for 6 months at least.
All right, moving on to our second group of athletes. We had Coach DP matching up against Steve Santos.
This was another hotly contested matchup, and I think the biggest surprise out of that was Steve Santos just came out and crushed the workout. Probably one of the most surprising performances we saw all weekend, clocking in at 11:05.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, pretty fast.
Yeah, Yvette was his judge, and she's a strict judge. No doubt he was at least getting 2 parallel. But who knows if he did all the rounds, in my opinion. I'd like to see him do it again. Comment below if you'd like to see Steve do this workout again, because I'm not buying it. I mean, he just crushed the workout.
Crushed it,
Great job by Steve, who really just destroyed DP.
Yeah, you would think DP would be killing it on double unders with that no calf weight really weighing him down. I did feel bad for DP because, after Al and Alyssa finished, then Steve finished, DP's kind of working off on the side, but everyone kind of moved over to our next matchup, which is probably the best matchup of the day, which was Valone going head-to-head with Coach Derek.
Brian's going to come out fast and aggressive and get that lead on Derek. Derek's going to have a lot of breathing going on. But late in the workout, there's still hope for Derek to kind of turn it on. Yeah. And he did. He starts closing the gap in the last round.
Derek picks the bar up, goes 9 unbroken. Might have been a mistake. He tried to make up that ground, and then you could just see the look on his face during that last set of double unders.
Brian, with the best introduction of the night, ripping the shirt off.
Yeah.
I saw him cutting a small hole in his shirt in the back row.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what's he doing there? And then he comes out and rips it open.
Got it.
The setup. Good play. I was like, does Peloton, are they known for making just low quality shirts? Is that what's going on there?
Couldn't believe you had the strength to rip that shirt off.
All 6 athletes, great job. Put a show on for us. Set the tone for a great weekend. Besides the matchups of Thursday night, we had a lot of other good matchups that have kind of built up over the course of the 5 weeks. First one to talk about is that Steiny matchup. The lawyers from Poshman Stein.
Yeah, so the Steinies, they had a bet going between John Bauer, John Kim, Zach, and Suzanne. Worst finisher, last place finisher that week, that open workout was going to buy lunch for the rest of them.
Love it. Love this little side trash talking that not everyone knows about. Zach takes 2 losses over the course of 5 weeks. I'm looking forward to eating lunch again this week on somebody. A nice balance. It was really cool.
Everyone ended up buying lunch once. Each one of them has different strengths, different weaknesses, and it did kind of get exposed.
Cool. So we're out to lunch discussing this final week. John Kim, the only one who hasn't lost yet. Double unders comes up. There it is. The hope is on that he's going to lose. And
Zach and John Bauer both kind of hid their scores from him. Suzanne, she didn't care, wasn't really worried about it. John had to go into a blind on Sunday morning.
Yeah, John, known for his 24-inch vertical for every double under, was crushed this week by the workout.
That might cost you when you have to do 350 doubles.
Cool. Other notable matchups.
Another big one was the Morales matchup between Willie, May, Allison, and Haley.
Also known as the Willie's daughters.
That one really wasn't a competition at all. It was basically a clean sweep by Willie, minus this last week. He decided, he didn't want to just win every week, decided to give one to Haley.
It brings us back to week 1 with the child abuse.
Yeah.
It was a trend through the entire Open.
Yeah, there were a lot of complaints amongst the daughters that, oh, he's using the same weight as me, he's doing an easier scale down than me. The man's 57 years old. All right, what are we talking about here?
So yesterday during warm-ups, we tried out a round. He walks by me and shakes his head. He says, I don't even care if I lose. I've already won.
Probably could have secured actually the clean sweep, but I caught him in the middle of the workout having a sip of water.
A matchup that may have been behind the scenes that someone within the matchup didn't even know.
Yep.
We got Grace Kim and Stephanie Pinsdorf.
Yeah, I don't think Steph Pinsdorf exactly knew that she was in this competition.
Yeah.
After Steph Pinsdorf, I think beat her by a couple reps week 1. From then on, the competition was on, and Grace had her eye on her scores the rest of the 4 weeks.
Yeah, week 3, Grace Kim came up to me and she said, you can make a custom leaderboard. And she showed me on her phone, and it just said Steph and Grace Kim. So they battle it out in the corner. Stephanie, can do double unders very well. Handles 65 pounds. Both of them struggled through the workout, but then it became Grace Kim staring at the corner of the building. While everyone cheered her on, and she wasn't happy about that.
Yeah, Grace was on the fence the whole weekend about should I do scale, should I do RX? She could do some doubles, but
and that brings us to dishonorable mentions for disaster decisions of the week.
Yep.
And that would be on me. Grace came up to me and said, hey, should I do RX? I think I should really do scale. It's going to take me way too long. And I'm like, no. I'm like, you got this.
You're gonna blow this workout out.
I didn't see it coming.
Yep.
We did some math, right? What do we got? How many times did she jump up and down, do you think, Mike?
Yeah, considering that the workout calls for 350 doubles to complete it, and Grace does either single double or single double, and including some mistakes, probably did over 1,000 jump rope on Saturday.
Yeah.
That's not an exaggeration. That's a legit number. Probably did about 1,000 jump rope.
So I'll take the black eye on that one.
Yeah.
But there was a few other disaster decisions this week. One was Jason Goldberg not thinking before asking a question. Turns to me, he's like, the first one never counts, right? I'm like, Driscoll, every time she goes, she does a single first and then a double. So yeah, you're right, that one wouldn't count. But like Haley, she always does, right into her double unders. He's like, that can't be. You can't get a double under on the first one. Very confused. Didn't think before he spoke. Jay Gold, thank you for that. But ultimately, clear, once again this week, by all voters, the disaster decision of the week was a team effort.
Yep.
I may have been involved. I'm going to give myself about 8%.
8%?
8% of the blame. But the rest is going to fall on both coaches Colleen and Kim. Some may say this was a brilliant decision to try to sneak in a lighter load at 55-pound thrusters.
If they got away with it, it would have been the genius decision of the week. Not so much when Colleen finishes all 10 rounds of the workout. Driscoll takes Colleen's bar, doesn't check the weight, good to go. She finishes 5 rounds of the workout before we realize what was going on. Wrong weight loaded up on the bar. All those reps don't count. Devastating.
Poor decisions.
Who was the judge?
There was somebody else involved, Mike. Somebody realized that there was only 55 pounds, and they waited a long time before they let Driscoll know.
I don't think that's accurate. I thought my eyes were deceiving me. I had to go get a third
There was a
party.
meeting in the hallway.
I had to
a
get
meeting
a
in the
third
hallway
party.
is like Driscoll's 4 rounds.
I had to make sure everything was. You can't stop someone mid-workout. I mean, who would load the barbell incorrectly? I mean, that's just it's unfathomable.
All right, so congratulations, Colleen, at a 88% of that mistake. Cool. One of the top quotes from this weekend comes from G. Buck. If I were better at double unders, I would have done much better. That's probably true.
Yeah, it's probably
a good call.
Yeah, master strategist.
Well said. I'd like to hear her say it. Yeah. Moving on to some of our notable scores.
Yeah, moving on from disaster decisions. A potential disaster decision came in the form of Pounder decides to wear his Ollie's for this workout, and then it ended up he crushed the workout. So it ended up working out for him. He finished in 13:45. He told me before the workout, you know, if you have a good game plan and you execute, it's just going to work out for you.
Second is Kevin Camillo. Great open season for Kevin. Something double under, something he does really well. Threw around 95 pounds, handled it, finishes up at 14:21.
Next up, honorable mention is Jen Sestados, finishing in 14:32. I've been giving her a really hard time, especially recently, about her double unders. She was one of those people who was like a crazy person doing double unders, picking her knees up to her chest. And I think she really, you know, through my negative reinforcement, has really spent a lot of time kind of fixing that. Looked great doing double unders in the workout today, and I think that allowed her to keep her heart rate down and put up a really great time.
A big fan of the negative reinforcement here at Max Ability.
Yeah.
Our last athlete to mention in the scale division is Arisla. She said she went to the doctor earlier this week and said, "Hey doc, I've got a deep breather coming up. Do you have anything?" Gets prescribed, comes in, blows this workout out, says breathing wasn't even like an issue at all in this deep breather.
No, whatever.
Her legs were the only thing that bothered her. Super excited for her finish in the open. She winds up with 11:41 in the scaled.
Yeah, whatever she's taken, I want some of it. That shit's incredible.
Our top scorers of the week in the scale division, Mariette crushes it. Yeah. Doesn't have those double unders yet.
Nope.
Just blows the workout out.
I think she finished the first 3 rounds in under 2 minutes.
I started warming up so fast. So I said, hey, you don't have to throw your arms to the ceiling. Just finish the rep. Yeah. Bring it back down. She's like, I only have one speed. And I was like...
And you're like, let's go.
I wanted to bring Chris Lee over. Like, hey, have you ever met Mariette? The top men's score, which unfortunately I wasn't able to see, we did early on Friday, was Jerry.
Yeah, Jerry set another incredible score, 7:33. I don't know who was judging him.
That's very questionable.
Very questionable, but
he's got those singles. He doesn't even really leave the ground.
No.
We got to find out who's judging him because Jerry would be the guy to cut the jump rope. May have never left the floor at all for those 350 double or singles, excuse me. Cool. Top RX scores. Really not a surprise. The little people again. Kim Driscoll at 8:35 and Michael Kim at 8:51. And again, Driscoll, this is after having to do the workout at 55 pounds.
Yeah.
He did say it felt a little light.
Yeah.
But may have been because of the unbelievable hour-and-a-half warm-up that she had.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, she came up to me after having done the 5 rounds, and she's like, should I do the workout now? What do you think? And I was like, I think you should just do it on Saturday. And then I come in the room 2 minutes later, and she's blowing the workout out. You know, even after doing 5 rounds, such that incredible time.
And a good example of the type of athlete Driscoll is. And a good example of, attitude and, just being a good leader. She could have just went and strangled someone as soon as that happened. Yeah. Me included, I took a few steps back as I told her she had to stop. She kept it inside, realized that was, her fault as much as mine or maybe Colleen's. But she, walked it off and, moments later comes back and gets 8:35. Michael Kim, I didn't get to see much of Mike. What was he doing over there?
He had a rough start. He messed up on his 35th double under, I think the first 2 or 3 rounds. One of his biggest strengths is that transition time. When he finishes the thrusters, he went over, picks up his rope immediately, 1 deep breath, and then he gets right into it. And just did that the entire workout, finished sub-9, which is pretty incredible.
Okay, moving on to 2 topics we take very serious here on Max Ability is our Comp Wad programming and the Mod Squad. Those who have joined the Unlimited Plus programming, it really showed. But if you just knew each athlete and how far they've come, more is better, as long as it's done the right way.
Comp Wad, it's not just for the elite athletes. We have a lot of different people join, a lot of people at different skill levels, and everyone's seeing these huge benefits.
Who, if you had to pick about 10 athletes or roughly, who do you think our next 10 might be that really, either you're looking forward to seeing putting a little bit more time, or that is getting that itch?
Right off the top of my head, I'd have to go with Jenna Pikinich. I know that she's a full-time student right now. I know that she works a job, bringing us lobster tails every weekend, and apparently she lives an extremely busy lifestyle. She's someone who I could see hanging out here a little bit longer, be entertaining for all of us.
Yeah, it would be fun. She clearly has a lot of potential, and yeah, I would like to see some more time from Jenna.
Yeah.
My pick is going to be Peter Lee. Having a kid soon, so he's going to want to get out of the house, along with your pick is
Ian Borg.
2 guys that are going to have, newborns.
Yeah.
Can't wait to get out of the house.
For sure.
You better do it before you have the kid, because then it's going to be too obvious.
Yes. Yeah. Sign up today.
Cough it up, daddies.
I mean, they have enough time to play, 3 hours of spike ball after the noon class, but comp wat's a little too much.
A more obvious pick for me is Jen Seidel. She's got a very busy schedule.
You may not realize how funny that is.
I really don't know what Jen Seidel does on a daily basis. She clearly is one of our top masters, definitely the best Jewish person in the gym. Can you get out of the Jew League and move on, to be a leader?
Jesus.
A leader amongst all. The other topic that needs to be discussed is the mod squad. We have a lot of people that, on a daily basis, just don't do the regular scheduled workout. But we have our own separate group because we realize how important it is to keep people motivated if there is an injury. Maybe you're playing a soccer game, you roll an ankle, doctor says you can't do anything for a month. Bullshit, get in here, we got all kinds of things that you could be working on.
Mentally, I think it's really challenging. Oh, I'm not doing the same workout as everyone else. Oh, it's an inconvenience to the coaches. And both of those are just completely wrong.
Our top mod squad athletes of the Open, without a doubt, is we got Haley Moe and Ryan. What a great Open. I mean, Ryan, top 3 scores basically every week until you had to redo some workouts,
Yeah.
And then Haley scaled 1 or 2 workouts.
Probably one of the best moments of the Open was her snatching that 105-pound barbell, proving to herself that she could pull heavy off the ground, and all the progress she's made over the past, year plus.
Hooray for them. Hooray. Huzzah. What's great about that is, their confidence is back, and, what this next year is going to look like is, for them, they know the little things that they need to put in. You have to have a little bit of a game plan, and then, use us for guidance, and use other people that have been in situations as guidance as well. Oh, Ferris got a Ferrari, If Ferris would put in a percentage of time towards his mod workouts, as much as he does into buying cars.
Sky's the limit.
I mean, he spent over 1.5 years ordering just a car to come in. I'm looking forward to driving the car, so I appreciate it. And because of that, I will help you out in the mod squad. All right, YouTube fans, not just to wrap up 17.5, but to talk about some of the things that we've seen over the course of the 5 weeks. Some things that happen here mentally for us as athletes. It's a lot of stress. You've made some sacrifices along the way. You've got to this point where CrossFit provides us 5 weeks to test ourselves out. Where we go from here doesn't have to be a whole year, like, oh, I'm going to make goals now, and it's going to be for next Open.
Yeah.
We could say, hey, I really struggle with those bar muscle ups. I can do them, but I'm super inefficient. And let's make a plan for next month.
That's the beauty of the Open, right? It's just that unbiased kind of programming, and it really exposes you, whether it's to a movement, a time frame, to breathing really heavy or something like that. And that's really where approaching a coach, letting them know your goals, we can kind of help you, kind of get you on that path.
Other things that the Open does is, it gets us to pick up some weights that we just aren't comfortable with, and maybe on a daily basis we don't do. And then all of a sudden we do them in the workouts, and then it's like, man, maybe I should do a little bit more. It gets you to work super hard, right? You're exhausted after the workout, and then you got to ask yourself, can I step it up a little bit more on a daily basis? Can I get uncomfortable like this? So I'm looking at some of the athletes that I want to take down this week. Your standard group, Brian Vallone, Steve Santos, thought I might have a shot with him. We need to see him redo the workout, so that's all questionable anyway. Jared. I really appreciate him taking these workouts at about 75-80%.
Yeah, definitely benefits you.
Our ranking in the region, I got him. And our ranking in the state, come on. For all you Jared fans out there, you might want to jump ship. Get on the bandwagon now, folks.
Yeah. I know I've obviously haven't done this workout, but I've done workouts similar to it, and I knew it was going to be a battle, and it was a matter of just trying to control myself at the beginning. Don't know if I did that well enough, and had my head between my knees for the majority of this workout.
Trying to keep up with me.
It is exhausting, yes. Yeah.
And a couple thank yous that are really important as we wrap up the last week. Number one, staring at us, nonstop. Sasha, thank you so much for everything that you do. Let's clap it up. Incredible. If it wasn't for Sasha, Lanny would never be funny.
No, fact.
Partner in crime this year, a nice little addition, Peter Lee. Oh, little side shot. Where you at, Peter? Thanks, Peter Lee. And all our fans. You know, gotta thank our fans. I mean, the letters I get. And I can't reply to them all, and I want to. I do appreciate all the fans. A couple nudies. I got a couple nudies sent to me. A couple other thank yous. Everyone, you know, there's some obvious people week after week who judge, and they're really just, you know, what can I do to help? Cleaning up, can't name them all. And then there's the people who don't fucking help out at all. We know who doesn't help, and it's gonna cost you over the next few weeks. You're gonna find a way. I'll stop coaching you. And thank you for everyone signing up and just and giving your effort and showing up and putting the hands together. We're clapping it up for you, everybody. We're gonna go to this week's sponsor. We've got Crossover Symmetry. Thank you, Crossover Symmetry. A staple here at Maxability. You know, we didn't have it in our old gym, but once we moved into the bigger facility, was a huge addition. You know, it's become a routine where athletes can come in. We now have, you know, 8 stations set up. You want to keep your shoulders healthy, your athletes feeling good. Not a week goes by where an athlete doesn't come up and say, oh man, I'm so glad we got these Crossover Symmetry bands. After the open wraps up, let's take a look at our final standings.
That brings us to the end of the show. Thanks for tuning in for the past 5 weeks. It's been a great open, and we look to get back to the grind. Attack this next year. Get ready for next year's Open.
Make comments below. Appreciate you guys watching. See you next year.